This week on the Innovators Suite, we're blazing through the story of Rodney Funderburke, an entrepreneur who's driving change with his passion for cars, faith, and community. Rodney's journey isn't just building a business, he's pouring into the south side of Tallahassee, one car at a time. Tune in to hear how faith and community fuel his drive and how he's shifting gears to leave a lasting impact. Let's ride with Rodney on this inspiring journey.
Welcome to another episode of the Innovators Suite. I'm Ashley Scott and my co-host.
Hey everybody, I'm Tori Ford, and today is a special edition. We have Mr. Rodney with us. Ashley.
You know what? Today we are putting the pedal to the metal. Like, when I walked in here, initially I was like, where can I find like a little mirror to fix my little hat and my little
to get a reflection of the mirrors.
But you know what? Then I thought, let me bring my gloves in. I done brought some garden gloves that I was going to use to
Now, this is what they are talking about, the infamous gloves. The perfect blend of style, comfort, and performance.
With that, but anywho, we are here with Rodney. And Rodney, thank you for allowing us into your business. Like, this is incredible.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I'm glad to have y'all here. And
so let's dive straight into it. The name of your business.
Okay, the name of our business is Cars.
Where are you located?
1529 South Adams Street. We're on the south side of Tallahassee, Florida.
Right across the street from the High Seven Hills, right?
Yes, we are. FAMU, right across the street.
Agricultural
and Mechanical University.
Okay, right? Get that right.
I won't even get an October 3rd, 1887.
Strike.
Okay. So, what's so unique about Rodney is that his business is over here when a lot of redevelopment is happening around us. But you are a minority-owned business. Planted right here. How did you even go about figuring out this is where you want it to be?
Well, I came from a commercial shop.
Okay.
And I saw a disparity. We saw that there was no commercial shops in this area, right? The whole south side of Tallahassee didn't have those types of mechanic shops.
Okay.
So whenever we did venture out on our own for our business, we wanted to cater to this community, as well as there were things that I wanted to bring to this community as well that I knew that could help the people of this community. Yeah,
I think it's so amazing and fascinating. I didn't even think, like, last week was graduation.
Yes.
You have a lot of students right here. All of us wait till the last minute to get our last minute oil
right before they get on the road.
But the idea that they can see you here and come to your place. When you're a parent and you drop your child off to college, there are a few things that you look for. One of them being you look for, like, what resources you have so that if your children need them, you know how to actually, access them. So do you feel like parents were able to kind of see your business and, like, this is where you need to come if you have any issues?
Yeah, we work with countless parents. So how it goes is student's car breaks, student brings the car here. Next person we're talking to is the parent.
So Rodney, one thing about you that I know is the passion for automobiles, right?
Yes.
It's just not the need for speed. It's just not about customization. It's about your passion. Let's talk a little bit about that passion and what got you into that passion for cars.
Okay. Well, I've always liked cars since I can remember. Cars were my first instance of freedom. Everybody's like, I can't wait till I'm 16. I'm going to get my license. I'm going to shoot. Sometimes you don't even be 16. You be 15 bugging your parents. Hey man, let me drive you to the store, mom. Let me drive you to the store. And, when you can get in and just go anywhere, right? That was always so powerful to me. So at a young age. And then from there, you feel different things. You listen to your music in the car. Sometimes you get stressed out. You gotta customize it, make it feel like you. And sometimes you just need to go for a ride and you feel better. And cars have just been one of those things where it's like it's always had a passion for me. And I think people in general have all had some sort of relationship with the car because every day you pretty much use a vehicle, there's not, I don't think there's a item that I use as much as a car. That's where my passion started.
Okay. That's so interesting you say that because so much does happen within our cars. Like we have, whether we're for me, you pulling up in the garage, let me just decompress in my car from the day before I walk in, you know, or I'm taking business calls in the car.
Yeah, that's our mobile office.
Sometimes you just park and you on your laptop in the car. So, you know, that's so unique that you brought up the freedom. And that's one of the things that we all love about entrepreneurship, having the freedom to be able to create. What are some things that you feel like you've created, you know, since being here?
I will say the sense of community. A lot of people that fear, they've never been under a car. Something breaks on their car. There's a lot of students I deal with, and they're just like, I don't know what to do. And so one thing that I feel I've created is a sense of knowledge, and I've eliminated some of that fear of like, how am I going to pay for this? You know, one of the things that's been helpful in our community is like, I've come up with, we've provided financial strategies on like, okay, if your car does break, you can afford it this way. You know, so this idea of like, how do I fix this? How do I do this? And we've just been able to show different ways to eradicate that fear of just not knowing something that you deal with every day, which is your car.
Right.
So you talk about community. You talk about community a lot. You talk about cars, but how has the community impacted your decision to open at this location and actually provide the services that you provide to our local community here?
Well, we're in a college town, right? I'm literally feet away from, feet away. And the community, I've seen the best side of people. While a lot of times giving people some of the worst news. Right? And
who wants to hear that they have to replace an engine, right?
Nobody wants to hear that. And when I first got into the industry, when I was in a commercial facility doing that, there was no like way to transition or break that information with also being like, here's help. It was more so like, you need $3,000, here's the bill, bye. You know, and the whole goal of that business was a little bit different than what mine is. Ultimately, we want to get you whole again. We want to repair your car. But, you know, I've become therapist, financial advisor, you know, all of those things in doing that.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, exactly. And so like the community has had, they've allowed me to be that for them. And coming here, there was no place I feel that would have been like that perfect spot for what I wanted to bring to the people. And so because we are like this and want to be able to help at this capacity with, you know, I've thrown little fundraisers that people don't know about and been like, look, I've helped people with my personal money back in the day. Hey, look, I just need you to finish your classes. I'm going to take care of this for you. You come back and pay what you can when you can, and so on and so forth. And there's so many things that I've been able to do, just being able to be an entrepreneur in this space, right? In this community that I might not have been able to do the same way in other communities. And my heart lies in this community.
You know, I think, you know, because when you take your car to get fixed, there is always an uncertainty if someone is going to give you the right information or they're giving you misinformation or telling you that this is really broke when it's something else and it's nothing.
Take advantage of it.
So it's important that I feel that you have that community, that you have that trust with the community already, so they know when they come here, like if it, like I'm safe, you know, I'm not going to be manipulated or taken advantage of. And so I think that's so important. So entrepreneurs, if you're listening, and business owners, especially if you're in this industry, please make sure that you develop a relationship with your community and that you're honest. That honesty can really create the difference between someone being able to elevate or them being pushed back 30 steps. So
and there's a reason why businesses are open as long as they're open, right? Because you really have your name and trust.
That is it.
That actually brings you that long. You know, somebody doesn't want to come here and say, oh, well, I brought my car there and they ripped me off. You'll be closed, right? Bad news travels a whole lot faster than good news.
Oh, most definitely.
And you've been open through the test of time to say that you stand on business, right?
We've been standing on business 10 years. This is our 10th year.
Rodney Funderburke has been standing on business. So you
10
hear
years.
me?
10 years.
That is incredible because most businesses, they don't survive after the first 3 years, let alone 5 years. So you've been able to work yourself. What are some of the things that you've learned being an entrepreneur through the journey of entrepreneurship?
Perseverance, faith. Faith was one of the first things that gets tested, because leaving my like regular job and being like, I'm going to do this thing, and the power of support. There's times, I mean, everybody, I know a lot of people, when they want to step out and leave their business, you know, I was blessed enough to have a lot of people that supported me and were like, hey, we're going to come bring our car to you. We're going to get something fixed. People who might not really need too much fixed, they like, look, just come, I'll just let you change my oil, you know? And, that was the beauty of it, right? My friends and family became the people who patronized our business to make sure that we made it. And so, you know, those are the things that I learned in just doing this. I mean, there are hard times where, you know, of course we've gone through pandemic, tariffs, all sorts of things that have caused, you know, unsettling in so many ways and spaces. And community, you know, it's funny, I keep saying that word, but that honestly is what has kept us here. Tori, we haven't spent no real money on marketing, like in 10 years. We never, there's no like commercials. We don't send
That's what flyers, I mean. And you mentioned something just in your last statement about friends and family. You know, I know, we all know. They are the last ones to support you when it comes to business. Exactly. You always want something from you. So that speaks a lot about character. That speaks a lot about trust. That speaks a lot about your work ethic, right? Because if you have your immediate friends and family just saying, hey, let me just come by and support you, that means a lot about you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You know, on the way home, Lord, this is home over here. By the way. All of us probably spent many years on this side. But even coming on this side of town, you're going to pass by multiple. Like, I remember there was another automotive shop. It's no longer there anymore. Then you have a lot of small businesses that are kind of thriving, but they're hanging in there, but they're really not there. And so I think you just keep seeing community and community. That is what makes the difference, you know. Of course, that coupled with your ingredients of faith and perseverance and all of that. What's next for you? Like, what is next? Or share with us what's next with the services that you provide.
All right. Well, so I talk about a lot about community. I'm also, everybody who works here, we're all car enthusiasts, and we are deep into the car enthusiast community as a whole. So the stuff that gets me excited is to talk about not only the engine, but how do we make it better? How do we make it more exciting? How do we make the car look the way you want it to look? Those things gets people excited. And I like to be excited about cars. You know? I like when people are excited about cars. So we've definitely been here. We've always had a foot into doing things that are performance based and things like that. Tallahassee does have some car shops, but there is a huge gap in the performance space. And so I am transitioning into providing those kind of services, which are not in probably 100-mile radius of here.
So are we talking like MTV Pimp My Ride? Is that what we're talking about?
We're talking about a couple of things. I mean, if you look in the background, you'll see some like really cool engines and things like that. And so we want to have like a formal shop where you could come and go to get these types of things. And you don't necessarily have to be like a millionaire per se to get this type of stuff done. But we want to really go into that side of the market to where customers are coming here and not only leaving with repairs and being whole, but we want to make you better. You know, we want to make you, we want you to be excited about your car. So we got a lot of fun stuff in the horizon in that space. And also we want to get into the education space. So we have some training courses and things like that we'll be trying to integrate into that as well.
Mechanic 101. Before we go, one last question for you.
Yes.
Somebody that's looking to open up a business. What type of advice or what words would you provide to them to say, do this, keep on going? What's those next steps for them?
I would say find a space that you're passionate in. First thing I would tell you is we do always want to, money is a byproduct of the success. Chase the success of what you're trying to do. I don't look at a customer ever and say, how much money am I going to make off this person? How successful is this transaction going to be? And how successful is the next transaction going to be? How easy am I able to attain that success? Money will follow that trend, but you have to look at how do I do this the most successful way? If you do that, chase that with the passion, you'll be fine.
So entrepreneurs, if you are listening today, this is about chasing the success, the mission, the vision of what you're called to do or your interest, not just we're chasing the bag. The money will come.
It's going to come.
We all
it will come.
Tell you, it will come.
It will come
sometimes.
But it's going to come.
But if you still have the idea of success, that is how you get there. Success in everything you do. Rodney, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
But before we go,
we got to give it to him.
It's not like a let's do it, right?
No.
But there's one thing that we have to do.
Yeah.
Corey, can you tell Rodney?
So we need you to say welcome to the sweet life.
Okay.
Right,
I can do that.
Can you join us?
I can join.
Because that's how we usually end all the episodes.
I can do that.
Right?
I can do that.
Are you sure?
I think I got this.
Okay, are you ready?
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the sweet life.